Thank you very much. Nice follow presentation of Ronnie, because as he said, I will try to add something and to show what has been happening in Uganda, and I'm going to concentrate more on how they are doing in the communities. I am not sure that I have a complete socioeconomic impact, but I will say something similar to it, and moving towards impact that will be greater probably in the future. Okay. For us, for all the work that we do in Uganda on bananas, are supposed to service what we call our strategies for improving for agriculture and rural development. The different countries in East Africa have different programs and strategies, but they are all about similar. And the strategic focus is on intensifying investment, enhancing agricultural productivity for food security, and transforming the rural economy. And we have a number of focus areas: increasing production of crops. Of course, banana is a key one in the region. Deployment of improved technologies. Hybrids are the key of the technologies that we have deployed. But we have to work with the farmer organizations and extension and input supply. We should work with people who deal with credit so that farmers are able to access inputs and buy materials, including hybrids. If the markets and the marketing infrastructure is not working very well, and the bananas are not being sold, and farmers are not getting money which they can reinvest in production, then even the hybrids will be difficult to be promoted, because all the hybrids are sold. So what would the farmers use to be able to buy the hybrids, and so that they improve their productivity? This value addition is also there for many other crops, not very much for bananas yet, but it is something that would help to increase the demand for hybrids. So how does banana fit into this space in terms of increasing productivity? In terms of increasing productivity for bananas, if we increase productivity for bananas, we increase the efficiency of labor use. We also increase the efficiency of land use and even of time use. And all these are money. If you save labor, you save money. If you save land, you save money. So, and then that translates into transformation of the production sectors, and then we have higher value for crops, including bananas. And then we stimulate production and marketing of inputs, because like now the banana seed system is not very well developed. One of the reasons it is not very well developed is probably the farmers don't have a lot of money to buy these technologies, including seeds. But if we start by improving productivity, then little by little the farmers will be able to gain money cumulatively, and then they will be able to buy these inputs. And once you have production systems that are vibrant, then the farmers gain, the scientists gain, and policymakers also gain. We have, I'm not going to talk about the climate change effect, but of course the bananas, because of their resilience and because they are perennial, they are projected to adapt climate change more than many other crops. And as we develop our hybrids, although from the product profile that Ronnie talked about, to climate change and drought are not very prominent for now, it is something that we look at in the future, so that because we know this climate is changing and we still have to survive in that change, and therefore it's something that we need to look at. The other thing that we have to, why banana is key for resilience of the fragile communities, it is because it is perennial. So if we look at Uganda, this map here, what you see as green are the main banana growing areas. Now these are the south parts of Uganda, west, central. This is the northern, and this is the eastern. When you look at this chart here, this chart here on the top right, I don't want us to go deep into it, but what it is showing is in the regions where banana is prominent, there is a high, there is a surplus food availability. And where bananas are not prominent, like in the north, there is a lot of food deficiency. So in terms of distribution, regions that have bananas are a bit food secure. Those ones which are not are relatively less food secure. If you, and then this map here, the one on the bottom left, bottom right, is showing the poverty levels according to the Ugandan statistics. The green parts are relatively less poor than the yellow and the red parts. And when you compare them with these two maps, you can see where there is a lot of green is where there is a lot of bananas. Of course, bananas is not the only thing playing, but I doubt that. I mean, we did not do very good correlation with people to make this, but it plays a big role in getting people have some bit of money. And I will show a little more evidence later that is more focused. Now, what is the situation with the farmers? The situation with the farmers is, if you look at this chart on the left, we have a range of, farmers are producing with a range of productivity from below 10 tons per hectare per year, like Ronnie said, up to around 40, 35 tons per hectare per year. What this means is that even before we come with hybrid, even before we come with agronomic recommendations, they are already there are farmers who are producing much better than others, because if you have people at 3 and people at 30, that means there are some who are producing 10 times than the other. It means that farmers producing around this area can learn from farmers producing around this area of similar size of land, okay, similar resources, similar sources of information, and be able to learn and do some adoption. And some little experiment we did with about 30 farmers showed that actually you can increase number of bunches on an acre of land. This is when number of acres, number of bananas from an acre of land per month, from below 100 to even 1,000. But that was on a very small scale. So, but it is possible to increase that productivity, even with using general practices. Now here I come to the bananas that have come out of the breeding pipeline that Ronnie talked about. These are the bananas that were released just recently, but to say that the first banana variety to come from our breeding program came 10 years ago. The problem was it had the, okay, maybe I'll come back to that a little later. But since that time, we have released the 7 varieties. They have very good yield, and they also, this is consumer acceptability. We do consumer acceptability test compared with the local varieties, which we worked to improve in the first instance. Okay, now this is giving the history of what you have released and where we are going. If this is the one we released first, this one at the number 1. and it was resistant to sigatoka, tolerant to pests and diseases. Yield was over 50 tons per hectare per year. Remember, averagely, the local varieties are yielding 10 tons per hectare per year. Acceptability, here I didn't put the record, but here I didn't put the record, but it was about 60%. When I say 60%, I am meaning that when you compare it with the taste of the local varieties in terms of consumer acceptability, is one of them. And I mean, it's 60% only. Then this, no, I'm meaning this M9, 67%. But now this is not very good. So while for the other ones that we release it later, while we continue to looking for resistance to sigatoka and tolerance to this, the yield was all over 50 tons per hectare per year, about 5 times more than the ones we were improving. But progressively, you can see that the acceptability was increasing. Now, this group had about 80%. Now, the most recent that we released had 95%. Now, when Ron was talking about the pipeline, the plan is that whenever you release, whatever variety follows, it needs to be better than the ones which have been released. Now, like for example, we have these hybrids which we are planting in national performance drivers. So first of all, we want to make sure that we increase the number of varieties with 90% acceptability. Even if the resistance of sigatoka, or even pests and disease is still the same, and the yield is still the same. We want to increase the profile of plants, I mean the menu of hybrids with higher, acceptability. Now here we see we have 92%. We have 84%. At least they will be much higher than the ones we released before. And then after that, we probably can change. So in these ones which are in the pipeline, we believe that Narita 17 and Narita 4 are likely to be released because so far they are the ones with best acceptability, and I will hope to release them in the next 1.5 years. Now, as we talk about hybrids and how to introduce them to the communities, we need to understand the environment under which we introduce them. The mistake we normally make is just get to the hybrid, go to a community of bananas where you think they fit, the location you think they fit, and just supply. We don't normally consider that there are different stages of development at which farmers are operating. If somebody is at stage 1, where weeding, pruning, the suckling is a big problem, he has not managed pests and diseases. The farmers operating at this stage are not likely to take up hybrids. Even this one, the one who is operating at stage number 2, when you introduce hybrids and still there is a lot of stress, weevils are there, nematodes are there. Of course, yes, there is some tolerance, but they will put a lot of pressure on them. Maybe there are other diseases you have not taken care of. These hybrids, of course, will not work, may not be very well taken up around this stage. Now, there is an issue of water conservation. You remember I talked about drought, and we have not seriously started addressing it. If we take a variety with the sigatoka resistance, even if it has sigatoka resistance, and it is not well managed, we have not made trenches to keep water in there, then they will still not work very well. Even in nutrition, of course, I'm talking about here, manually. Even in nutrition, these hybrids need to be in a system where other problems are taken care of. Weeds are taken care of, except for where they have resistance. Other pests and diseases are also managed. and then the water is there and the nutrients are there. Then at that stage, you can introduce hybrids and they will do very well. When we are breeding with when we talk about, we say you need to combine genetic gain with agronomic gain to be able to get the best out of whatever you are producing. So as we move towards where the farmers are interacting with the hybrids, we need to take care of this to be able to have the best out of it. Because we don't have a very good seed system, we have been trying to do the best that we can with what we can, because we actually need a system to promote the hybrids. But research in that system is a very, very small entity. We need people to manage quality of disease and cultivar integrity with inspectors, which normally is a government agency, and the Ministry of Agriculture should be the one to take that up. We need tissue culture companies or seed companies which produce seed at a profit, and then if have effective delivery systems to the farmers that take them. We could have even farmer groups or farmer-based, local-based communities which can grow seed, not tissue culture generally, but be able to sell it to the workers. So we need that system. So in the absence of that web system, we have been holding farmer festivals as promotional activities for the hybrids. In the farmer festivals, in these food festivals, we display the hybrids, we cook them, the farmers eat them like you are seeing, they make a verdict of what they want. Then we have people who are selling suckers of all the varieties and they choose out the best. So normally when they choose the best, they then advertise people who have them, or people who are interested in producing seed in the communities express interest, and then they produce them for sale in the villages. But as I said, that is trying to fill a gap that is too big for research to fill. So we need to develop seed systems for us to have hybrids taken up very well. The other thing that I'm talking about, remember I talked about the value chain. We believe that if farmers are not getting money out of bananas, even the hybrids will not be bought. Even fertilizers will not be bought. We believe one of the channels it uses the farmer groups organized well to call them cooperatives. And this slide, without going into it, we are showing how much farmers can gain by working together. Because many times they operate a very small unit of production size. If you work together in a group, you increase that unit. So you capitalize on what economists call economies of scale. You buy inputs cheaply, you sell your banana at a higher price, and that is an incentive for people to buy inputs, including hybrids, for people to improve and their productivity at farm and their efficiency of production. The other thing that now we have been using is we have been capitalizing on the internet connection, phone connectivity, which is increasing in the region and in Uganda. Now we have, for example, a farmers platform, which by 2021 last year had reached about 45,000. Just last week, they hit 50,000. 50,000 of people following what is happening on a daily basis in research and whatever events that we are doing is very big. These are not just farmers. These are some of them are scaling agents, extension staff. For example, we wrote an extension manual, extension guide that we produced in 2019. By last year, we had got 92,000 downloads. If we were supposed, because it was a 60-page manual, if we were supposed to publish, to produce 92,000 copies and distribute them to the people, we would have spent $500,000. So this one was the same in just getting that material to the people. And the other thing that was key, we just put it on the platform. Then people who need it are the ones who download it. as opposed to when you produce hard copies and take them to even people who may not need it. So that is one way of getting people and mobilizing people to take up our technologies, including hybrids. This slide is attempting to give a little bit of what people who are interacting with the hybrids are saying. This was a project that worked in the north in 2016. These farmers claim that this house came from the banana. This lady was already selling M9 in the Kampala market, and it was even helping people who had just come out of conflict to settle down and farm and get some money and educate their children. So when we look
2 minutes
at the poverty levels, you look at this blue are the people in the north, and when you look at these $2, it's about 70% of them live under extreme poverty. This black one is average for Uganda, average national for Uganda, which is about 34%. Now, these are the ones where our bananas, where we are operating with the banana. And actually, this where we have 11%. So you can see when you compare with the other many situations, the banana farmers are producing, are relatively much better than the other communities. And this is even before we include varieties, because this is still at a productivity of about 20 times per hectare per year. So if we include varieties that are producing at 50 tons per hectare per year, we expect this picture to even be better. If we were working on bananas, producing bananas, and people, you can see a lot of people would be enjoying, and I want to thank you for listening to me. Hello? Am I there?
Yes.
Yes, you're there. Thank you.
I have finished. Thank you so much.